the world's mightiest country, biggest economy, biggest military, biggest hard power, biggest soft power, biggest tech power, biggest defense power, is trying its best to save Pannun. Why?
Hi, you're watching TFI, Indian social media's OG.
A recent article from the Financial Times has brought to light a concerning incident involving the United States and India. According to the report, US authorities managed to thwart a plot aimed at assassinating Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, a prominent Sikh separatist leader who holds citizenship in both the US and Canada. This plot is suspected to have roots in the Indian government, a claim that has understandably strained relations between the two countries. Gurpatwant Singh Pannu is not just any individual. He is the General Counsel for Sikhs for Justice, a US-based terror organization actively advocating for a separate Sikh state, Khalistan. This group's activities and Pannu's role have evidently made him a target, leading to the so-called alarming assassination plot that the US authorities have allegedly intercepted. The details surrounding the foiling of this plot, however, remain unclear. The sources familiar with the case have not specified whether the intervention was a result of the US's protest to New Delhi or it was the FBI's direct involvement that disrupted the plotters' scheme. This ambiguity leaves room for speculation about the extent of the plot and the nature of the actions taken by both the US and Indian authorities. It is also noteworthy that the US's warning to India came after a significant diplomatic event, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Washington in June. Adrian Watson, a spokesperson for the NSC, conveyed that the issue had been raised with New Delhi at the highest levels, signaling a significant diplomatic concern. In a related turn of events, Washington has reportedly shared details of the Pannu case with a broader group of allies. This dissemination of information followed Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's public disclosure of the Vancouver killing. Notably, India has vehemently denied Canada's accusations of involvement in the murder of Nijjar, calling them absurd. The External Affairs Ministry of India, responding to the FT's report, mentioned that in recent India-US security talks, the US shared intelligence about connections between organized criminals, gun runners, terrorists, and other nefarious elements. Pannu himself, approached by the Financial Times, chose not to disclose whether US authorities had informed him about the threat to his life. His statement to the FT was pointed, deferring the responsibility of addressing this issue to the US government. He emphasized that it was up to them to respond to threats to his life on American soil, purportedly from Indian operatives. The White House further revealed that the Indian government expressed both surprise and concern when the US raised this issue with them. Indian officials asserted that activity of this nature was not policy, distancing the government from any involvement in such plots. Right, the recent developments regarding Gurpatwant Singh Pannu are clear, but they also raise a multitude of questions that demand answers, not just from the US but on a global scale, particularly from the perspective of the global South. First and foremost, there is a pressing question regarding why the US is providing shelter to an individual designated as a terrorist by India. This situation draws parallels with notorious figures like Baghdadi or Bin Laden. Would the US have reacted similarly if India had hosted these individuals? This comparison underscores a perceived double standard in international politics, where the rules seem to differ based on the country involved. Then there is the issue of Sikhs for Justice, the organization Pannu is associated with. This group, advocating for an independent Sikh state, is operating from within the US. Why is such an organization, perceived by India as a threat to its territorial integrity, allowed to function on American soil? This situation raises questions about the US's stance on separatist movements globally. The US government's high-level involvement in Pannu's case is also puzzling. Why is there such significant concern for a nobody like Pannu? Is there more to this story? Perhaps connections with the CIA? Is he a CIA mole, as speculated by some? Such speculation isn't new in international relations, where covert operations have historically played roles in shaping geopolitics. Moreover, the connection between the Khalistan movement and Pakistan's ISI is an open secret. This raises suspicions about the US's intentions. Is the US collaborating with Pakistan to destabilize India, a country that is now a significant global player, leading movements like de-dollarization, heading BRICS, and showcasing rapid economic growth? And Pannun's recent video message threatening Indian officials and advising Sikhs against flying Air India due to life-threatening risks is alarming. Does this imply that the US supports such threats given their protection of Pannun? This situation puts the US's stance on international terrorism and its commitment to global security under scrutiny. Lastly, the validity of the claims made by both Trudeau and the US needs to be examined. Trudeau, who made allegations about New Delhi's involvement in a murder in Vancouver, reportedly did not provide concrete evidence or any evidence. Similarly, what evidence does the US hold to support its claims about the assassination plot? This lack of transparent proof is a matter of concern for international relations and justice. Biden is too old to govern and he has only few months in office. It would be wise of him to not stir up the Indian hornet's nest. This species is particularly stingy.